Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, as always, covering the hot topics on Transformers Earth Wars. And yes, this week is no different than every other week. Well, slightly different. If it was the same as every other week, it'd be pretty boring. But this week is no different, and obviously it's covering the top topics. So the hot topic, obviously, this week is the new bots. Well, they're not new bots, but the new event for Beast Wars Ironhide and the C-Clamp this weekend. So we will be covering a bit about those bots in today's stream. What else as well? We're talking about a few easy fixes what I think the team could do to the game. They're introducing a new dev behind the scenes to try and make things a bit better, and I've just got a few things where I'm like, if you just do these 3 easy things, it will make the game so much better for most people. And so just a few suggestions for the team to obviously make a quick fix to the game to make it a bit more accessible. We'll be taking obviously a look at Primer Prime. It's pretty much finished now, so we're taking a look at that as well. And talking a bit about primes as well and what the idea is behind them. Short term, long term, originally, things like that. So yes, all that in today's stream. But as always, guys, if you're new to the stream, drop a hello. And got any questions, stick it in the chat. You know, I'll go through the chat regular. If you got any questions in between sort of the topics I've already written out, I will try and answer them best I can. I probably will be able to, but I'll give my opinion as always. And yeah, stick it in the chat, guys, and I will see what I can do to maybe help you and things like that, or whatever. So yeah. Don't forget, guys, that if you want to be a member, I'll be shouting out to my members in the chat when I go through it. If you want to be a member to support the channel, then obviously hit the membership button. If not, at least you can do, guys, is hit that subscribe button. I always say it at the end of my streams and things like that, but I never say it at the beginning. So yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, if you've not already, and never miss another stream, never miss a video. It's totally free, guys. Just helps my channel get more discoverable and just helps people to tune into my content. That's all it is. Cool, so let's have a look who we have actually got in the chat. So we've got Blade19, who is one of my members and one of the moderators of my Discord. So going to be a bit of work on that, I think, over the next month or so. I get a bit of time. Try and make it a bit more relevant, try to update it a bit with the new guys on board. So thank you, appreciate your time, much appreciated. We've got CF as well, who's a content creator, so go and check his channel out, guys. He's put in the chat somewhere. He's going to do a stream at weekends, so go and check that out as well. We've got Mashborn Real, hello, thanks for joining the stream. We've got Trax80, one of our moderators, a member as well. I've known him for quite a while, so yeah, cool guy. Thanks for joining, buddy. We've got Nate Williams, another member as well. Thanks for being a member. We've got Mark 4025. I hate them numbers. Obviously, my buddy Grind Time wouldn't be a stream without Grind Time, obviously. We've got Jason Rowley as well. Thanks for joining. We've got Jimmy Watson as well. How's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. We've got Soldier in the chat, another of our content creators. There is something happening behind the scenes that the team won't tell us about, but all your content creators are going to have a part in it, from what I can gather. So make sure you subscribe to all your content creators, guys, and then you'll get an idea of what it is. Even we don't know what it is yet. But when it comes along, from what I can gather, you'll need to watch all the content creators' channels to see what it is. Interesting. We've got Mr. Steeler as well. How's it going? What's up? We've got the Wrecker. We've got Sid the Kid. Yo. We've got Dark Lance as well. Good to see you, buddy. We've got Cheeto, my buddy, as well, who's a member as well. Thanks for joining. We've got Omega Supreme Rules. How's it going? Andrew Stevenson. We've got Twilight TYR. I'm sure it's Twilight Terror, innit? I think is that what it is? Yeah, I think, don't know, maybe, I don't know. We've got Winds of the Pit as well. Thanks for joining. We've got Highly Classified. Thanks for joining back again. Joseph Torillo has joined the chat as well. I'm sure he only tunes in just for that and then just disappears. We've got MD Prime, good to see you, buddy. Said it's good to be able to catch a live stream after a while. So yeah, apologies, guys. It is obviously that time of year where daylight savings changed in the US, but not in the UK. And literally, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do my stream as normal. And then Grind Time said, are you streaming? I was like, yeah, just do my thumbnail. And it's like, oh yeah, it's daylight savings, isn't it? I was like, oh yeah, is daylight savings. I mean, in an ideal world, I'd like to do it an hour earlier, maybe, to keep it up with you guys, but it means knowing when I'm going to change back. It's just a bit of a nightmare that change a year, honestly. Just get rid of daylight savings. Go away with it. Get away with it. Don't need it. We got Cuddy Fox as well. Thanks for joining. We've got Spen0787 as well. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. For those guys from Manchester, Vic Ching as well. I've not got that far yet, but if he's in the chat, it's actually a TF Nation in Manchester. I literally found out today because Callum hit me up and went, "Hey, I'm in Manchester, going TF Nation." I was like, "What?" So yeah, didn't know about it. But end of the month, there's a TF Nation in Manchester, so I won't be there sadly, but Callum will. We've got Matty as well. We've got Bruce Latter. Who else have we got? So skipped ahead. Let me go back a bit. We've got Yodo Cube. Thanks for joining. Strolling in with the 3-piece. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. That's all white, yeah. It's a bit white, isn't it? Yeah. 3-piece white. Who else have we got in the chat as well? I think we've got everyone. I think so. Cool. See what some people are sort of saying other than Cheeto going about validating his parking or something. Don't know what you're talking about there. God knows. Just a bit of talk about this weekend's obviously event. Go through. Cuddy Fox, new bot swerve. Who knows? I don't know. Not a clue. Spence asked the family well. Yeah, Jacob's been a bit ill. He's got a bit of a chest infection. No game this weekend, so I think he's going back to playing grassroots. I think for this weekend, going and helping his team. So yeah. Dartons has asked for a GUI change for using inventory items. Yes, definitely needs that. I mean, that is a given, really, but definitely need that. Play 19s, but primes are garbage. The new one's not awful, but you know. Cuddy Fox, are you also wearing white pants? No, I am wearing white socks. I am, but I'm wearing dark pants. So yeah, just to prove I'm not all in white, like some sort of boy band from the 90s. So no, yeah, I didn't realize it was all in white. Darklands, surprise remain all melee base would be hard to justify. Yeah, I saw you in the chat, in the playtest chat, asking them, but then we actually got a response, did you? So yeah. What else? Are they finally adding paddles? I doubt it. But what's his Sunstreaker Wozza in the tracksuits? I just like them. I just like hoodies. I like tracksuits. What I wear. I'm not a big jeans sort of person, and I think it comes from like sort of sports. And I think when you're like a soccer dad, that's a thing. Everyone says like in tracksuits, like that's like the fashion really. So for work I wear shirt and pants. Last thing I want to do is is wear shirt and pants when I'm outside of work. I want something comfy. So yeah, but I think tracksuits are more fashionable over America, but they are over here at the minute. One-piece tracksuits, like matching items, is the sort of thing in this one. So I don't know. Is it the same as like in America? I don't know. But yeah, like sort of like similar colours is definitely the thing over here at the minute. The big fashion. Classic Cheat said it needs a big gold chain with a clock on it. Oh, those are the days, though. Those are the days. Like Flavor Flav. Especially in Manchester. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Is it just a Manchester thing, though, or is it a UK thing? I don't know. But tracksuits is a thing. Spen, what do you wear? Do you wear tracksuits as well? And don't forget, I'm younger than most of you. Just saying. Because I find that most of my alliances, when I talk to people, most people are like around 50ish. I'm only just 44, so I'm a bit younger than most. Tracksuits, put matching tracksuits are a thing for gangsters and the mob. No, it's generally a thing over here. Honestly, matching tracksuits is the thing. Kind of classified GTA 6 NPC. Cool, cool. All right, let's up here all day talking about my tracksuits. Let's get into the newsletter, guys. And just to add it on, I've got quite a few tracksuits as well. Honestly. Oh, why's my camera done that again? Let me just give this a bit of a switch. Hang on. Properties. Hold on. How do I do this a minute? Give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec. Hang on. I'm looking the wrong way. I need to look the other way. There we go. There we go. That's better, innit? Looks like I'm actually looking at the thing now, doesn't it? Cool. Just a quick Ninja Master Builder. Welcome to the stream. Just put, I have arrived. I'm curious about how good Red Alert is, as I got a force out of him today for my bot account. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, still useful. I wouldn't say he's like absolute meta like he used to be. He's decent in an outpost, decent on offense. Got to be careful of FFDs for his ability. He's sort of a hybrid in a way that is quite tanky for a ranged bot, but doesn't do a lot of damage. So he's not a damage dealer, but not as squishy either. So a decent option in that sense, and rushes ahead. So yeah, he's all right. He's pretty decent. Yeah. Tracksuits in the States are here for older men in midlife crisis. No, it's the opposite over here. I think if over here, if you're wearing jeans and jumper, you look old. Yeah. Twilight's put. I like to wear athletic pants because they are slick and nice to wear. Yeah, they're comfy. Anyway, let's get off tracksuits. Jesus. I mean, I'll talk about tracksuits all day, but come on, we're on a Transformers stream. Come on, guys. Okay, this weekend's event is called Hide and See. So it is a weekend event, individual totalizer mayhem. 70,000 points for a 5-star Beast Wars Ironhide or C-Clamp. Don't forget they will come available in 5-star batches further down the line, but it's probably about 6 to 8 months away, I reckon. I think it'll be another 5-star batch, but these guys I don't think will be in it. They'll be in the next one, probably, so nearer to Christmas. So you can wait a while and wait till then if you like. But you know, they've already been out in the shop for a while, so you can buy them already and then go and get them in the event, or you can wait until they come out in a batch. So I don't mind that. I quite like that sort of, you know, cadence down where they go, you know, you can buy it exclusively. Now you can get it in the event. Now you can get it for free in crystals. So it's a good way to do it, depending on how impatient you are. But yeah, some good rewards you can see there. Obviously some 2,500 4-star shards, almost 1,000 5-star shards, pretty much with the 4-star shards if you get a dupe. And then yeah, you got the 5-star bot, character shards, spark, power cores. Yeah, some good spark. Have they been quite stingy on the 5-star shards? I don't know. Maybe not. I'd have to look at past events and see. But yeah. As you can see, scattered throughout as usual. Battle zones, mayhem events, points as normal. And then game updates and information. So I love to provide a few spoilers. So here's the next cyber skins. I don't think it's much of a spoiler when we know the cyber skins coming and they just release them. Is it a spoiler? They've got to say it sometime. I don't know. But breakdown looks pretty cool. I like them colours. Is it much different than the original? I don't know. But then we've got this guy, and that's awful. I think that is dreadful. I think that's one of the worst skins I've seen. You know, Beachcomb was quite a big favourite of mine, and I loved him in the blue sort of colour. I've got his, one second, got his G1 there, without the wheels. Obviously I bit them off as a kid. But I've got that version, and I've got another version as well. I'll just put him there for now. I'll transform him actually. Let's transform into a car, why not? There we go, little beachcomber. Yeah, I've got another version, but that's box actually in the box. But yeah, I hate this version. I really hate it. It's disgusting. Not a fan at all. Won't be using it out of principle. Then we've got Primer Prime and the Star Saber artifact. So I will be covering that later, so I won't really go through that. Bundle deals, we've got lucky bundles with 5-star shards and fluky chests and spark. Then we've got Sideways and RX. I hate these words, I just pronounce them how I want. RX, there you go, and Sideways. RX Sideways, who knows? But we've got Sideways crystals, basically. Yeah, why they called him RX Sideways? Sideways was just, Autobot and Decepticon, so I don't know. Hey, who cares? Quantum Operative Skids and SG Dirge skins that you can buy with 4-star bots. So I don't mind them being in the shop as well. I don't mind. And use promo code Shamrock2026 for 10% off your purchase on the Cyber Store. So don't forget that this weekend, 10% off, guys. So not only are you getting more bang for your buck in the Cyber Store, but you're also getting 10% off with that code this weekend as well. So yeah, if you are going to spend, I would spend this weekend and use that code and make sure you get that money off. Crystal Shop, they've got the Cold Snap crystals again. Seem to be always in the store recently. We've got what's this? Chili, Frosty, and Glacial. We've got 5-star shards or premium character shards or MK3 battle boosts. 5 MK3 nanofrosts. Imagine buying something and getting boosts. 40% chance. 40% chance. And there's 0.1% chance of 5-star shards. If that was 1%, I'd be like, you know what? Have a go, guys. You never know. But at 0.1%, it's quite depressing, isn't it? 0.1%. That's by what, 1,000? Odds-wise? Nah, no thanks. And then upcoming events, we've got obviously this week's Legacy event. We've got a Prime Shard event next week, and obviously we can cash Prime Shards in now for Prime, so that's pretty decent. And then obviously newer players can obviously use the Prime Shards for Prime cores. So we wanted a different, wanted a new way to use the Prime Shards that we're all mounting up. So we got that. I've still kept mine, not cashed them in yet. I'm going to save them for a good Prime. A couple waiting forever, you never know. Then we've got the new Prime, like I said, Prime, which we'll cover later on. Then we've got an Easter event for the Cyber Egg Hunt. We covered that a couple of weeks ago, and just, I hope they do. Not the previous one, the one before that. That was a lot better. Then we've got the new 5-star combat, not in testing yet. So a bit worrying, but I suppose we have got, what, 4 weeks, have we? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So as long as we get it soon, I'll be happy. Then we've got Alliance Alliance Combat event, where it's just, I think that's just combat shards and spark and stuff like that. Then we've got a 5-star combiner to complete Raiden and Dino King finally, and I presume once that's complete, next saga will probably see Skyrain as the next combiner, and I imagine soon around after this we'll probably get him in testing maybe. Then we've got bonus XP for primes. So yeah, I got a decent amount of XP. Again, just kept it in storage, waiting for a good prime. So I'm just mounting it all up. Then we got the new 5-star bot at the beginning of May, but nothing on that either yet. But yeah, there is something happening behind the scenes, and yeah, we'll wait and see. And then why doesn't Wozza like my jokes? They're shockwavingly bad. He needs to get a joke writer. Seriously. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yes, and go and check out your content creators. Like I mentioned earlier, we've got Freezes, Soldier, myself, and CF. So go and subscribe to them all because there is some content coming. Not too sure what it is. Is it HQ19? Fingers crossed. Don't know, but we'll wait and see. And then there is going to be a team stream. We'll be doing another stream. Yep. You read that right. Pretty soon we'll be sharing the dates that we're planning to do a stream. We see speculation around this has already risen. What could we talk about? What's happening? All shall be revealed in time. Well, I'm impatient. I want to know. But I imagine it's HU19, surely. They've been working on that for a long time. Or is it Solo Wars? Is that finally coming? I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. I hope it's something like that and not something dreadful. Something boring. Yeah. Let's see what you guys are putting. What's this? What's this? Still about tracksuits. Classic Cheeto. Wozza has never been a track. Interesting story, actually. I actually had, well, not, no, I won't say a trial. Well, I actually had trials to have trials for England in running when I was about 16, 17, something like that, I think. Was it 10k? I think it was 10k. I think, yeah, I think I ran 10k in around 46 minutes, 48 minutes was something like that. I came 36th in the northwest of England, which is not bad. But yeah, I was a runner as a kid. Before I was a footballer, I did a lot of track and a lot of running, and I was actually about a size 30 waist, up to about the age of about 30. Well, I'm trying to think when I had Jacob. Just after that, so I'd have been about 32. I got a bit bigger. I was still quite slim. And then when I'm a daughter, so you're talking around, oh God, 34. Then I stopped going gym and put a lot more. No, about 36. Yeah. Stop going gym, stop training, and put a lot of weight on because of it. But yeah. I was quite hench though, believe it or not. Interesting story. Frostbolter, good to see you, buddy. Long time no see. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you, mate. It's just, but I hope everything's doing well. Long time no chat. New HU is looking interesting. Would you know something I don't? Shagsy as well. What even is the skin for breakdown? I know it doesn't look the same. I know. Beachcomber looks trash, horrible. Yeah, I love G2 colours, or you can keep it. Classic G, I'll give him a tracksuit. Dalton's good point. The G1 adds a golden skin, so yeah, good point. Play, just give me a heads up for that Callum's joke. First belt, the H2C is way too much for me. I bound down to your wallet. H2C? 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 I've missed something there. How do they make a G1 skin corp a breakdown when he already has his G1 colours? I don't know. DJ, thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you again, buddy. He's put, I'm going to get that Beachcomber skin and use him in every battle so that one day I can defeat your base with it. Well, you've got to defeat my base first. What else? Jane McDonald, thanks for joining the stream. It's put, yeah, they've actually made it a lot easier on not spending money here lately. My wife is happy. Yeah, it's a lot more free-to-play friendly, I think. Cheetos put 10 years in, wife has no idea how much I spend. Yeah, I think my wife's got an idea, I think. But yeah, Frostbolt is right. Over the years, yeah, we spent a lot more money over the years. It's a lot more free-to-play friendly now. A lot less money to compete anyway. Trax has put, G2, you spent the same amount as a small country's GDP. Oh, Trax, that's dirty. Was a stop running track when he outrun his hair. Ouch. And you're a mod. Can you ban a mod? Can you kick a mod? I don't know. Dalton says, but considering last stream was about primes and how badly they've landed, not holding a lot of hope on a long promised item. Maybe. And yeah, there's no testing for 5-star Skyray and Galvatronus yet, so yeah, that's what will come. Oh, right, I'm possible to talk about 3D printers. That's why I've not got a clue what you're talking about. Makes sense, doesn't it? Cool. And then I'm gonna really freak everyone out while I'm gonna have a drink out the bottle. Did it last night, and I was like, "What are you doing? Drinking out the carton or a bottle?" I was like, "But it's mine. It's all mine. What's the problem? Like, we don't got a cup, but America have them red cups. Baffles me. I don't know why you have red cups. And that they throw away? That's just a waste, isn't it? I don't know. Don't know. Who knows? I don't know what you call them. Sippy cups? I don't know. Cool. All right. Let's get into the game, guys. Cool. So we're on our test account. So I always still get questions about coins. Going, how did you get 40 million coins, Wozza? I'm like, I've been explaining this for about 6 years now. But yeah. Red solo cups, yeah. Yeah. Not a clue. We don't have them cups over here. Solo cups are cheap throwaways, yeah, but or just don't have solo cups, and then you're not even spending that money. Just use a glass. I don't know, but it's a weird phenomenon. Weird phenomenon. You say stuff and then change their minds 5 minutes later. Okay, cool. All right. First up, so we spoke earlier about some easy fixes. So I had a conversation with one of the apes about, I was trying to sort of delve into what's happening and why things are happening the way they are. And obviously they are trying to bring a new person to the team, a new dev, and get them settled in. And so we all obviously go into the chats and go, why have we not got this? Why have we not got that? Do this, do that, do the other. So I thought, rather than make it really complicated, I'm just going to look for some easy fixes where the team could do some quick fixes and have a big impact on the game. And so I thought I'd pick just a few things to sort of cover where that will be applied and make it a lot better for us in some way. So I thought the first one would be simply more zones. I think that's one of the biggest complaints when we come to events, that Zone 17 has some absolute crazy bases in there, which I need to take a full team and combiner probably to beat. And then there's some where I can beat with a combiner and one bot. And there needs to be some middle ground. And I remember having a conversation with Yanis a while back about zones, and he said, oh, it's not that easy of just putting a HQ in a zone. And I think it is. I think it is that easy. And I know people will say, yeah, but you've got prime cores and things like that. But my argument for having a zone for each HQ is that when you attack zone 17, if you come up against a max HQ, it's very hard to take the HQ out with a combiner alone. You can in some respects, but not always. It's very difficult. And so that makes leveling in zone 17 generally harder anyway, because you're using everything on the HQ pretty much. And then you've got to think about the building HP. I can use certain bots in zone 17 and they won't take out structures. Whereas if we take the same prime cores and the same everything, but put that into a HQ 17, those are a lot easier to take out. So although yes, there are still prime cores in lower HQs, they're not as effective because you can take them out easier. And so I just literally think there should be 18 zones with a HQ in each. Or if we have 17 zones still, have maybe HQ 1 and 2 in zone 1. They're pretty much very similar, aren't they? And just build up like that. And just make it so that there's, a big gap between zone 16 and 17 or 17 and 18 or whatever those two are in terms of HQ level. And I think that'll make it a lot easier. Because at the minute, I'm leveling in zone 15 at times, and I've got HQ 16s in there. And then I'm going to zone 17, and I've got HQ 17s in there. So there needs to be some middle ground. And I do think that will solve a lot of complaints around people in events. Because if you're going to go into 17 then, you're going to know you are going against maxed out bases. You're going against HU18s, whether you like it or not. But if you go into that zone, you are going to come up against those bases. And then if you go into the next zone down, whatever zone that might be, you know that you're not going to get maxed out bases. You know for a fact you're not. I just think it simplifies it, makes it a lot easier, and just makes it, easier for them in terms of getting complaints of people saying the bases are getting harder or easier. Dead simple. Another easy fix, I think, would be to make more outposts relevant. And I think that this is in two respects. So I think the first one is making better outpost options. And so, I mean, in terms of legacies, in terms of 5-star batches, when they give them a bit of a buff, they're already sort of working on them anyway. And so I don't know why we just don't give them a little option of they do whatever, but when in an outpost, or they do X amount to bots. And we see that with a few different bots where they do X amount but more damage to bots and combiners. And we've seen that with Prime in the current release. So I don't see why they can't just add that. It's in the game already. It's a mechanic they can use, and it just makes more bots more relevant. It helps them in taking out outpost bots in wars, so it makes people a bit easier in getting through bases, especially come when HU19 is coming. People are going to struggle for time-wise. So I think adding more options of does X amount of damage against bots and combiners will really help in terms of defense, in terms of new strategies. Did a video last week, and there's what, 10 outpost options, and literally out of them 10, I was like, well, 4 are not as good as it used to be, so it's like 6 out of to choose 5. It's very limited, and you find it very, very much the same. So I think there needs to be more different variety, more different options, extending some of the times on some of the abilities, like the Cosmos. Cosmos now to 20 seconds is devastating, but there's still counters. So it just breeds a bit of variety. We know I like a bit of variety and stuff. People should have different choices. I think that will help a lot. Another quick, easy fix, I think, and I found this when choosing my outpost bots, would be to have outpost bots ignore sharks. And the reason for that is that there's been plenty of time where I've had Quintus on my bots and I've attacked a base, and I've thought to myself, X bot in an outpost would be really useful. So for example, I was thinking about putting Silverbolt in an outpost. You might think Silverbolt, but I was thinking it could be quite devastating, Silverbolt. So if we imagine this, if we imagine you're pathing through a base, and then you pop an outpost, and Silverbolt stuns one of your bots for 26 seconds while the rest path away. That's going to cause a crazy split. And I like to think outside the box a bit. We talked about the other day about thinking a bit different than everyone else and putting things in outposts that might be causing issues. But then when I actually tried it, and when I faced my own base, most of the time he just hit a shark and it was completely useless. And I just feel like you could make use of so many different bots if we stopped them targeting sharks and actually targeted the bot. Sharks can't pop an outpost, so why do we let them be targeted by outposts? For me, it just doesn't make any sense. I just think that's a quick, easy fix. Just a bit of focus on outpost bots, on what they target, on relevance, on bots that we bring out, on legacy events and 5-star batches. Just have a bit of focus on outpost bots to make the game maybe slightly more difficult. Nothing crazy, nothing that you don't need stupid effects. Just making some bots more relevant, like we are doing in terms of buffing bots. We can do that again for outposts as well, and just make some bots a bit more relevant. And lastly is a dead simple one, and that's the user interface, because there's been plenty of times where I've been trying to upgrade some cores. So let's just say we're going to upgrade Solus. So upgrade Solus. I go, okay, I want to use my rejuve cores. And all of a sudden we're clicking, we're scrolling, clicking, we're scrolling, we're clicking. Now, obviously, if you're on an iPad, this is you just doing the same thing. You're just scrolling. And obviously, yes, I've got a lot more cores because test account, we get given these cores. But it is really dreadful. Scrolling. And it's just a case of just adding either a sidebar or adding something where you can select certain cores here. So like we can do for our bots, we had this installed quite a while ago. We used to do the same for bots to scroll, and then we added in jets, gunners, healers, things like this. Dead simple. Dead simple. Just add a little selector like this, a little scroll bar, something like that, where we can just stop scrolling endlessly and try and sort of minimize what cores we have actually, we actually have to scroll through. And that's it. Like I said, we're not sat here saying anything crazy, anything stupid, like let's change the whole war effects, let's do X, Y, and Z, let's change the Titan tech tree so you can pick what you want. There's 1,001 ideas we could choose to make the game better. But we're just picking some simple, very simple changes. Now the last one for me is probably the most important one. And this has really bugbeared me for a while. I don't think there's a big massive fix. But for me, it's probably the biggest one. And it makes no sense. And that is have ranks filter in to the bot stats. So we've got red alert here. You can see damage 725, health 4340. And so if you want to rank him up to major, you would think that changes stats because it does increase them. You can see there 45090. Why does that work on the test account? Oh, my bad. Hang on, guys. Got it wrong. So, example of this is red alert. So, not damage and health, that does work, but it does increase ability damage. I got it wrong. So you can see there that 2,272 normal damage as you rush in. But as you upgrade them, that doesn't change. In fact, let me pick a different bot. I messed that up, didn't I? Let's try it again. Right, okay. So as you can see here, SG Jetfire, he has damage and health. So that goes up as you rank him up. As you can see here, you upgrade the rank. And then the damage and health goes up. But although the ability damage does go up with 16,528 there, as you rank them up, the ability damage change. The ability damage doesn't change, but it does. It does increase through ranks. At first, I was adamant that it doesn't increase ability damage because it doesn't when you look at it, when you actually rank them up and see that. But then, obviously, it does. It came out that, look, it boosts health, DPS, and ability damage. And so sometimes when you're trying to beat a base and trying to look at it and go, can this bot do X and destroy X building? You look at it and go, well, no, he can't. When in fact, he probably could if you rank it up. And so I think that will really help people to understand what a bot is doing and not take it to chance and understand that, yes, X bot is going to work in your team to kill whatever defense you choose. And so, yeah, I think those little changes, 3, 4 changes, 5 changes, will easily make the game a lot more enjoyable for people. Just that simple to understand mechanics better, make the game a bit more difficult, give us more options, make scrolling through things a lot easier, and yeah, just make events a lot more simpler and not having to lose so many battles in Zone 17. So let me know what you guys think. Just think of easy fixes. Nothing too elaborate, nothing too crazy. Easy fixes are going to improve the game. See what you guys are going. Let's have a look. Yodels, not apes. Same thing. Same thing. Why is the Christmas tree still there? I just haven't changed it. Dead simple. The way you say H. How do you say it? H. That's how you say H, innit? H. Classic Cheetos, but yes, Outpost. Yeah, I think most top players will say that. Yeah, Twilight's but with that logic, it definitely would make events easier and help with understanding zones. I agree. Cuddy Fox has put 16 seems harder than 17. Yeah, CS puts visually balanced on HQ level. I agree. That's why I said it. What else? How about the game doesn't crash? Yeah, but I think that would be a bigger fix than what you think, though. You hear that was a times out on your bases. Not last time we faced. Some level of intelligence and targeting. Again, I think that's a bit of a bigger fix rather than just a rule change. That makes sense. Same for my phone. Use any of Computron's ability. Crash. I play on PC, so I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. Just but ability target for sure should not target sharks, but after they still should. Yeah. I agree with that. Could he focus put give some jumps an upgrade? That'll just come naturally, I just think. Over time. Cheeto, damn sure don't want to fuse those very useful wall busters. I just said can I have some cores on my test account and they give me all them and it's just a nightmare. But that's just a exaggeration of what's online, but it is still annoying. Especially when I'm trying to find some G1 cores. It was a talk I was looking at. I think it was a piece of Ironhide. I thought, oh, has he got a G1 core? And I was like, okay, let's have a look. And I was like, okay, where's the G1 core? And this is literally what I did. I sat here and go, right, well, the G1's at the end of the universal cores. So surely I could just be able to press press G1 and then come up. And I'll literally sit here and scroll and just give you an idea of what it's like. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Yeah. You get the idea. It's a lot of scrolling. Yeah. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Yeah. Still scrolling. that is maddening. It is maddening. Still scrolling. Oh, we're close. Hey! And I was like, oh, right, no G1. Great. Frustrating. Meta Bears, but who should be my first major? Who you use the most? Dead simple. What else? Grind time. I know a quick easy one. Remove the grinder timer. Yeah, that's like 5 years in the making, isn't it? Grind time. Tracks. We say H. You say hey. Ha. Like in hate. H. No, I say H. What are you on about? We say H. You say ha. I don't say ha. I literally said H. Jim McDonald's spot. I know it's been talked about before, but what about buying the spark back from the bots? Not a chance. That will never happen, mate. They've been said. That will never happen. Just would break the game. We need to get rid of Titans out of Gold League and below. So that's a bigger fix than what you might think. The problem you've got is, so let's just say we're both Gold League players. Let's just say, I'm just making this up. Let's just say you're a high level player and I'm not in Gold League. But by high level, I mean like you're a maxed out HQ19 and I'm a low level HQ19, both with Titans. And we're fighting each other in war. And I say, okay, Gold League, we shouldn't have Titans. What's then the reason for you having a Titan? Really? You it sort of puts you off going for Titans. And listen, I kind of agree with you. I get where you're going with it, but it kind of puts you off going for Titans. And then as a lower player, I'm like, this is great, but then you're banning content from the people. So I do get what you're saying. Are Titans debuffed in those zones? I don't know. That could maybe be an option. Give them less damage, so they're not as impactive. But yeah, I get what you mean. They are overpowered in those zones. It is quite daunting for newer players getting into them zones and then battling against Titan where they don't have one. You're almost definitely going to lose. But I don't think the fix is banning Titans from Gold League, because then you're just making players not want to go and get a Titan, are you really? It's not fair for those that have gone and bought a Titan, spent on the Titan, and they go, right, yes, I've got a Titan, and then they go to war and go, where's my Titan gone? Oh, you can't use them in wars. So I don't like that, but I get where you're going with it. Yeah, and it's put HU18s have no business in Gold League. I agree, but then what do you do if you're in Alliance and let's just say you're in Gold League and I say to you, listen, I'm going to come down and help you and give you some tips and give you some advice on how to do well in wars. Then I come down there and I'm banned from being in war with you. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like banning things. I get where you're going with it. I do. I understand completely where you're getting, but I just don't think banning HU18s or banning Titans from Gold League is the answer. There's got to be a better answer than that. And I know debuffing Titans would help a lot. But yeah, I don't know what the answer is for HU18s in Gold League. I don't know. I know they've got a debuff, but yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, Cheetah's put IG1 codes that we know about. Still scrolling, yeah. Um, we say H. Yeah, H. Hey, I don't say hey either. HA. What is it? What are we going on about today? Why are we talking about how I say H? Clothes. What is going on in today's stream? You say H like HA in hate, as in hey, hey. I mean hey a. What? What the? Um. Tractor Sport. Well, we want to use Titan and push up the leagues. Yeah, but some people don't. Grind Transport also, we need to be able to change combiner in outposts without having to wait for time to run out. Yeah, I think that putting a combiner in an outpost shouldn't mean that you can't use that combiner. But again, that's a bit of a bigger fix. Meta Bears, but time would be better if you could only activate certain perks for 1 week. I know, but again, you're just restricting the. Sorry. Again, you're sort of restricting the use of them, aren't you? I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't know. Yeah, Mattis put just increase the debuffs, make them next to useful at lower league levels. Yeah, I think that's the answer for Titans. I really do. I won't say useless, but not as much an impact. Omega Supreme Rose put H. Yeah. So how do you say it? Phonetically, how do you say H in America? I don't know. Class put H. And I'm saying H. Oh my days. Oh my days. What is going on in the world? D Lorenzo channel, welcome to the stream. Has put love it if HU19 introduced two combiners. I don't think they will. Titan should get a power review depending on leagues. Definitely, yeah. 8. Huh. No, I don't say that either. 8. Huh. There's 8 in H. China has put congrats now. Wozza will be better all over the H issue. Wife will be like, are you mental? You say it fine. Move on. Okay. 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 Let's not get into that. Okay. Next up. So with Beast Wars Ironhide and Sea Clamp coming this weekend, I thought I'd talk about what I think is the best setup. So when we go through these, sometimes people will say, well, no, that's not the right setup. This is how I do it. And that is fair enough. And everyone will set them up differently. But I wanted to go through how I'm going to set them up, if I have them, why, and for what reason. So here we have Beast Wars Ironhide. And I know I said the other week that if you're using a bot for X reason, then make sure that when you use it and when you're putting calls on it, try and emphasize what it does for whatever you're using it as. And I know that most people will see Beast Wars Ironhide like a tank. But if you compare him to other bots, it's not quite that tanky. So you can see there, if we look at him in his sort of, nude mode. Not like that. He has 46,000 health and 738 DPS. Where if you compare that to Pipes, he has a lot more health and a bit less DPS and damage. So for me, he's a bit more of a damage dealer, just through pure DPS. Nothing too crazy, but he has more DPS. Once you add in the glass gas, the 40% DPS and ability damage for 15 seconds, if you can rush him into a target and do the added DPS along with the glass gas, it's going to take structures out a lot quicker than the likes of Pipes would. You've also got to think as well, he's got a speed of 2.3, so it's going to walk ahead of most other targets. See there, we've dropped Pipes and Beast Wars Ironhide. And see how Beast Wars Ironhide is just walking ahead of Pipes slightly. As you can see. Just that bit quicker. And so because it's that bit quicker, it means he's going to walk ahead of most your other tanks. Now, you can look at that two ways. You can look at that because he's walking ahead, because he's getting in front. Then you need to protect him more and make him more of a tank. Or you can look at it as, because he's walking ahead more, he gets in range of defenses a bit quicker. And so I like to focus on the damage more that he does. So with the prime effects, a defense healing for 20% of the damage dealt. With the defenses healing for 20% of the damage dealt, they heal up very quickly the MDS and structures doing high damage. And so what I've done is I've set up Beast on Ironhide with Harrowing Bashbreaker. So that acid will stop that healing. But what I've also done is, because he does that added acid, I've also put Megatronus with him, making that acid and fire, the extra 20% you get because of those combo together, add that onto the fact he's getting more DPS with Bash Breaker, and add on the fact that you're also getting 40% extra DPS and ability damage because of the glass gas, it just means it's a bit of a MDS killer. So we're going to rush him into the MDS, and you can see here that he hits it with glass gas, starts attacking with acid and fire. You can see it going down really quickly. And there we go. MDS gone. A lot of people are struggling with the MDS and taking it out and using bots like SG Jetfire and different combos and Sunstreaker. But having an extra tank in your team to do this is absolutely incredible. And I really like the setup of, like I said, having that acid, fire, glass gas just causes an immense amount of damage. And not just for the MDS, but even in an area, even the shield gen cluster, whatever you want to sort of hit with him, as long as you can sort of keep him alive and keep him away from FFDs and think about that, he's just an absolute bomb in an area, and I love him for that. And that's why this weekend I will be definitely going for this bot. And I did say a few weeks back, I said this is probably one of the better bots that's come out in quite a while, and I would advise everyone that if you do want to buy a bot, I would probably buy this one. And same for this event. If you do like this bot, I will probably go and spend in this event and go and do this event for this bot. Raiden and Dino King coming later. They're not exactly meta, they're not exactly amazing, not something essential content. We're not sure what the next bot's going to be, what it's going to be like. So I would put my chips into this guy and go and get in this guy. I do think it'd be a great option. I'm not saying it's going to replace pipes, but it's a different option to maybe use with pipes for a different reason. You can have a bot in your team that protects your team, rushes in like pipes, and you can have another tank in your team like Beast Wars Ironhide that's there to take out structures but also protect your team as well. So let me know if you're going for this bot this weekend. Let me know what you think, and have a go at the setup and see how it goes. So what you guys have put in. Dallas don't think his wife's saying he's mental. He thinks I'm mental for doing this every week. If you want to call me after the stream, Cheeto, then fine, buddy. I'm not going anywhere. Costy Cheeto, 10 minutes later he kills the MDS. 10 minutes? 10 seconds. What else? Will he replace pipes? Don't know. It's a different sort of bot, but still very good. Metabet, I can't wait to spend 0 on this event. Yeah, listen, wait for him to come out in a batch then. Yeah, fair play. Twilight Sport, I'll do what I can with the event. If I get the bot, I get the bot. Fair enough. Yeah. Team Razor Claw, Cheeto says. Ninja Master Builders Port, I know I will go get the 4-star C-Clamp so I can unlock some shards for him. Yeah, fair enough. Tracks, why does Cheeto get to call Wozza? I'll tell you what, we'll do it on Discord then. Yeah. If anyone wants to have a chat on Discord afterwards, you can do. There you go. I was out on my Discord. So if you're in my Discord, you're alright. If you're not, then you better join it. I've done that for a while actually. Yeah, I might start doing that after my streams. That would be pretty good, wouldn't it? A little get together in my Discord. Yeah. Cool. Next up, so we just talked about Beast Wars Ironhide, and this weekend's event is obviously for Beast Wars Ironhide, and I've said quite a while that I'm going for Beast Wars Ironhide. It'd be pretty good. I like the glass gas, like it's a bit different than pipes. He's a very good bot. And so we spoke about him being a bit of an MDS killer. So you can see here, we put him in. We've put him with Bash Breaker, Megatronus. Rushes in. And does great damage against the MDS. Vector's not working. Apologies, but you get the idea. Then I thought to myself, why spend money on this bot when I've got a bot that can already do this? So if we compare Sideswipe to Ironhide, take the cores off. We've got 730 damage. We've got 46,000 health at major. And then we've got 590 damage and 42,800 health at major. So we can compare the two, 590, 428, call it. There's not a massive difference. And obviously, Sideswipe is just a 4-star. But the big difference between the two is that Beast Wars Ironhide rushes in, 8% health and damage, 15 seconds, it's quite a while. Dealing normal damage and X damage to walls. And then affected by glass gas, taking 40% DPS and ability damage 15 seconds. Pretty decent. Then, look at Sideswipe. 8% health, 8% damage, only 12 seconds, a bit lower, damaging walls, leaving glass gas, causing them to take 60% DPS and ability damage for 14 seconds. So not 40%, but 60%. Now, the main difference between the two abilities is Beast Wars Ironhide will rush in and do the glass gas in an area, whereas Sideswipe tends to rush in and do it in a line. But where we're using him to kill the MDS, it doesn't really matter whether it's in an area or whether it's behind you. The big difference is what it does to the target. And so we're going to set him up with Megatronus and Bashbreaker, exactly like we did with Beast Wars Ironhide, and give him a go against the MDS. Then we put Sideswipe in, we throw him to the MDS, and you can see there the glass gas goes on. And you can see the amount of damage he's doing is exactly the same. Glass gas, doing that acid, doing that fire, and taking the MDS out. So what's the big difference between the two other than what we've already stated? Sideswipe actually has a few advantages. So the first one is if you don't like Bashbreaker, you can actually add Trenchfoot on, which you usually can't do to most warriors. So as you can see there, all of a sudden it turns into a sort of hybrid gunner rather than melee. So the fact that he's got lower HP than Pipes means that he's going to actually sit back a bit. And so if you're running him with another warrior, that other warrior is going to take the hits. You see there, Pipes is meleeing, hitting the resource building, whereas Sideswipe is actually sitting back a bit. Obviously this means that you're going to lose that acid from Bashbreaker, but it's a different option. But I think the other two important factors is the fact that he has 1.7 speed. And if you compare that speed to Beast Wars Ironhide, he has 2.3. If you compare it to Pipes, 1.8. So he's actually quite slow for a gunner as well. He's actually quite slow for Warrior as well. So we talk about his health and being a bit worried maybe because it's a 4-star version. Is he going to get hit by other defenses? He's actually going to sit back a bit, even if you do put Bash Breaker on, for the simple reason that he's slower than other tanks. So other tanks will walk ahead of him. That's what makes him a bit better, especially as a 4-star version. But the other thing that you got to look at as well is the Beast Wars Ironhide is 3+4, whereas Sideswipe is only 3+2. So the big question is, do we really need to have the glitz and glamour of Beast Wars Ironhide and go for him when we've probably already got Sideswipe as a 4-star that could probably do the same job and probably has better stats in terms of his speed, in terms of sitting back a bit, in terms of his cost, in terms of core choices. So I was dead set on Beast Wars Ironhide. I probably still will go for him because it's a 5-star and I like it, and the fact it's a part of Magnaboss. So, you know, it is a combiner piece. But I'm not going to forget this guy. I'm intrigued into how I can use this guy in a team to good effect. And if I can use Beast Wars Ironhide at the cost he's at, is Sideswipe going to be a better option maybe for my 4 team? Especially come HQ19 with that 60% glass gas? I don't know. It's an interesting question. And I can't wait for this guy to be a 5-star. That's for sure. But let me know what you guys think. Are you going to try and use Sideswipe? Are you going to level him up to replace Beast Wars Ironhide if you don't go and get him? Or are you literally going, no, listen, Beast Wars Ironhide is a 5-star version. I'm going to go for him. I like him. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see what you guys are putting. Mighty Morphin DJ has put free to play. What do you think it would take to complete this event? I don't think you can complete it free to play. I think you have to spend maybe $20. I think if you spend $20 and you use the coins to replace fuel cells, then I think you could probably do it for 20k if you do it right. So yeah. Yeah, Sigma Price, but man, I wish that was 5-star Sideswipe. Yeah, me too. Tracksport, did he just negate the Vector Prime? No, Vector Prime doesn't work on test, sadly. On test my own base, sorry. That's what it is. Darklands out. Beast Wars Ironhide doing his cluster. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. That's what we're here for. So I'll do that. So I'll just put over here a bit because I want to let's where's my Cronus? Let's go closer for my Cronus. Well, oh. Where's the thing? Where you put it on and you can see how you I don't know. Am I being a noob? Shock Tower. Where's the Shock Tower gone? Where's my Cronus? Am I going blind? There's one Shock Tower. Oh, it's there behind that, that's why. There we go. Let's put them in a cluster. I mean, might have something else there, but let's give it a go. Let's set Beast Wars Ironhide up with that. Megatronus and Bash Breaker setup. Let's give it a go. Cool. Let's go. Sigma Prime, you are most welcome. Oh, I didn't charge it. What a noob. There we go. Don't want to charge it for 2 days, like, but hey. Let's do this. Dead quick, Max put, since Beast Wars Ironhide and Seacon got a 5-star, I wonder if we'll get Beast Wars Pro, Ramhorn, and Silbot, Kadicon. Yes, and we will get 5-star Magna Boss. The idea is to get every combined as 5-star eventually. The matter of, it's not a case of if, it's a case of when. That's the big one. Beast Wars Ironhide, let's rush him in. Glass, gas, and area. So there's a bit of a bug at the minute, whereas Acid is not blocking healing on the MDS, sadly. This is why I wanted sort of Sideswipe, because it can get expensive. Once you get 2 uses out of him, you ain't getting a third. It gets really expensive. I suppose the shield does last a bit longer though, so we see there the shield's finished. So yeah, you can take out the MDS by the time his sort of shield ends, but then you can see there that he's died pretty quick. Whereas if we use Sideswipe, I think that'll be a bit more cost effective for taking them both out. Let's throw it a bit. And you see there, definitely more cost effective at 3, 5, 7 rather than 4, 5, 8, 11. Is it 5, 8, 11? 11's a lot of points. So you can see there, it took it out in the same amount of time, but sorry, 3, 7, 11. Yep, 3, 7, 11 rather than 3, 5, 7. So yeah, a lot of points. Is that a bug with Sideswipe? No, it's not. Trenchfoot was his actual counterpart. That's why he's meant to be working with him. Yeah, so I think a lot of people didn't know about Sideswipe being allowed Trenchfoot. It's because he's actually his counterpart in the figure where it was or whatever. So yeah, that's how the toy was released with Trenchfoot. So they've added it to him. Is Trenchfoot a good setup for Sunstreaker and Swindle? I wouldn't say so. No, personally, I don't like Trenchfoot apart from on Sideswipe maybe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes, grind time. Yes. Rams has put, it all depends with backloaded bases and walls making bot split. Beast Wars Ironhide is the way to go. Only drawback with Beast Wars Ironhide is a defense resource has to be next to the wall. Yeah, I know who use them in wars. You said, yeah, I get that. If you again, it depends on the versatility. If you're using them to take out walls and they kind of get, yeah, you probably go to them as well. Definitely a great option for taking walls out. That's probably a plus I didn't cover. But if you're taking it out, for me. We'll talk about pathing, weren't we, in our alliance the other day. And for me, pathing's not really an issue. You get some good bases now. Don't get me wrong. People are getting a lot better at splitting bots, and I think on the vice versa, I've got a lot better at understanding pathing even more than what I did before. I'm not saying I'm no expert at it, but I'm definitely better than what I was. And so for me, I'm not bothered about taking walls out. Man, should people use sludge? I'm not a fan of sludge. I think he's very squishy. compared to most other bots. So yeah, I kind of get your point. It can be used to that great effect behind walls, things like that, pathing wise. But you know, we don't see walls being used to in case defenses, things like that. And so I don't know. I don't think I will use Beast Wars Ironhide for that reason. If I'm honest, I think I'll use him more. Particularly the MDS. For me, my team right now, I've got an answer for everything apart from the MDS. And I kind of use Computron for that, and so I'm dependent on Computron. I don't want to get to the point where I have to use Computron for that. And I'm also trying to hack the opposing bots to kill the MDS and things like that. So I'm using different techniques, but I've not actually got a bot that kills the MDS. And that's what I'm kind of looking for maybe, but I don't want to change my team too much because it works quite well. Do I drop a healer? Do I drop a Sunstreaker? I don't know. I like everyone's set. Every bot has its use in my team. I'll show my team actually there quickly. While we're on the subject. Some sort of team right now. So Pipes is my Russian warrior to protect my team. Small screen, take out billboards, takes out structures, spider mines, helps with pathing a lot. Probably the most important bot I've got. Ratchet, Wheeljack, both healers. Do I need two? I don't know. We'll talk about in our alliance chat as well how much healing they sort of do together. It's crazy, but each keeps the other one alive, so it works. Rook is my outpost popper. Use him to sort of pop outposts, and then his hollow walks up. I sort of path it that way and tries to pop other outposts as well. So he's a bit of a popper and all my outposts pretty much. Sunstreaker, I help more with pathing rather than actual damage. Well, it does damage, but I use him more for pathing because of his range. And then I save Rustus for the top section because he's cheaper then. I don't use Rustus too many times, it gets more expensive. And then Overload is simply there to shield my bots, protect them, and stop them from hack or mind wipe. So they've all got a job. So I need an MDS killer, but who do I take out? If I take out, let's say, Rustus, then I'm not taking out the top section as much. Don't do as much damage. Take out Overload, then I'm missing my option to protect against Mind Wipe, which is huge. If I take out Sunstreaker, then I have to use Rustus per pathing, which makes it more expensive for Rustus because I use her for pathing in the first instance, which is more effective, but she gets a bit expensive then. Rook's definitely a no-go in my outpost popper. I need them. 2 healers, drop a healer. Maybe I might try that. Smoke screens, most versatile bot I've got, and most important bot, so definitely not. And then Pipes, I need a Russian warrior of some kind to protect my team, so I think that at least Pipes are mainstay. So do I swap Pipes out for the likes of Sideswipe? Maybe it's 5-star version with more health, maybe. I don't know, maybe. But I like Pipes set up as he is to protect my team with the Shark and with Solar. So if I swapped him out for another tank, I'd probably put that setup on him. So there's no real room in my team for someone else, really. So that's the bit what I'm sort of struggling with. Twilight says he did the counterpunch punch legacy with only $5. Fair enough, that's the case. Well done, impressive. But Darkland's put 5k coins as all it's needed for 70k, so $10, alright. If you're efficient with it, yeah, I like to power level though, and I spent about 40 to power level, so yeah. Cheeto, can't wait for 5-star Sideswipe. Blaze 19 support, I just go for all of them. Yeah, fair enough. Then you Master Builders put, yeah, Wozza is right here as a free-to-play HP 18 account. I can only barely hit up to that 36,500 points. Those events once for the 4-star. Yeah. Your Wozza logo is hiding this core deselector. What? Core deselector? What are you about? Yeah, tracks about $20 can get the event done. Yeah, I think so, easily. Yeah, Mega Supreme Rules has put Primer and Trenchfoot on Sideswipe. Yeah, it's a good option. I think if you're going to rush him in, though, there's no point. Because once you rush him in, he's already melee, really, pretty much in there. So, I don't know about rushing him into a high damage area with that setup. I don't know, but I get your point with glass, gas, and primer. Yeah, we'll do a crazy amount of damage, I think, especially if it's 5-star trench foot as well. Blade 19, but can I see your setup for Night Raven? Which is a Skystriker. I use him here and there, but my setup is always Enhanced Ordnance Core with most jets that do damage, and then Nightstick or Peacemaker. That's pretty much set for anyone, really. Later, Chizo, see you later. Ramses put, I use Jetfire Strike. I use Jetfire Skystriker on my con account. He is a one-shot bot like SG Jetfire, but more DPS. Only drawback is 10k less health. Yeah, it has to be general to kill the MDS, I think it is. I'm pretty sure when there's some testing, it has to be a general. Drax Sport, apparently my size up is at 63. I'm at maximum this weekend. Cool. Glad I could influence you to make a solid decision, get a good bot. It's cheap. Yeah, CS, but I'd like to see what 5-star Magnabus and Trapredicus could do. Yeah, me too. They've got some good abilities, just need a good 5-star one. Captain Flint, we like Trenchfoot with Sideswipe. Depends what you're running for. But once you rush him in, you've got to understand that once you rush him in, you're going to lose that range and it becomes sort of melee in a way. He's not, but you're rushing him into an area where he's on the defense and it's going to do attack around him. So it depends how you're going to use him, but it's something different in it. So that's why it's good, because you have a different option than what you do with other tanks. It's going to sit back a bit. So yeah. Nice, but I bet that 5-star Magnabus and Tripredicus would be solid, like Volcanicus and like Ruination used to be. Maybe I don't know what like Ruination used to be, Jesus, but definitely more like Volcanicus, I think. Yeah, cool. Next up. So I want to talk a bit about primes. Obviously, Prime is coming, Solus Prime before that, and Megatronus Prime before that. And so when the primes came out, it was obviously a massive announcement by the team that this is the next big feature. And I think we can all agree that they fell a bit short. Usually when some new things come out, we tend to find that they might be a bit overpowered at the start, but this is completely the opposite. They're completely underwhelming. And the question is, who are primes aimed at? Because if you look at the resources on offer for primes, that we don't get many resources in events, and it takes like 5 million solars, 1 million solars, and it takes like 1 million solar spark or 5 million universal spark to upgrade them at a high level, which is an insane amount, and even top players are going to struggle to get that amount in events. And so you would say, by looking at the resources it takes to level up the primes and the XP that's required, you would say that the primes are geared towards top players. So ask yourself, if the primes are geared towards top players, then why are they pretty much useless in top wars? We look at the health of primes, 38,000 health, 566 damage. Look at Megatronus, 51,000 health, 477 damage. They have no shields, the melee. They get killed very, very quickly. In terms of the impact they have, gain some health, reducing DPS in an area, fire damage, absorption shields. It's nothing crazy. Gaining health, giving extra health to turrets and troops and combats, and adding health in an area and attack and movement speed. It's nothing crazy. No one is looking at primes coming out and saying you need this for HU18. And I don't think when HU19 comes out either, people will be like, you need this content for HU19. I think that every previous release we've found that When combiners first come out, you needed a combiner. And anyone that's gone to war without a combiner, yes, there are some players that do without combiners, but combiners make it a lot easier. And back in the day, it was essential to go to war with a combiner. I think once HQ19 comes out, that'll still be the case. Combiners are essential content. And then when we look at ability 11s, G1s, they were almost essential content in the case of these are crazy good. When we look at prime calls, when they come out, they're still essential content. You could probably get by without them, but they make it a lot easier. Then we look at the likes of Titans when they come out. Although they came out and they were a bit underwhelming, they were still essential content that made the game easier. Not having a Titan put you at a massive disadvantage. If you go to war without a prime, are you at a massive disadvantage? No. So you got to ask yourself, why are they geared towards top players? Which most content is. Most content is geared towards the top levels of the game. If they're geared towards top players and the resources are only available to top players at the top end of events, then why do they not perform like top end content? Why does it feel like they're just a bit of a side project for lower down players for something that looks a bit glitzy that they might be attracted to go and spend money getting without being really effective? And it's a bit of worry for me how they're going to balance the primes come HU19 to make them relevant. And, that's the worry, that when these primes come out, we're almost expecting every next prime to be the one. The one that everyone needs. The one that everyone wants. The one that's going to make HU19 easier. But it's the third prime coming out soon. And we've still not hit them heights, or even close. I was talking to someone the other week, and they said to me, where would you rate primes? Where would you rank them in terms of how useful they are? I like a Titan, I like a combiner, I like a bot. And I said, well, I think they're less useful than a Titan. Because I use my Titan to take out the shield gen. And so that's an important part of my war, is taking out structures. Key structures to be able to do whatever my plan is. And so, although Titans don't have a massive impact, they're important. You need them in war. And I do use them to an effect to make the battle easier. I like a combiner. No, combiners do massive damage in an area. Although they're only limited within the battle to a few seconds, they can be used to great effect to clear out big areas, negate abilities, and so can be a really important part of the battle. I like a bot. Well, I use my bots to take out key structures. I use my bots to beat the base, basically. So no, they're not as useful as a bot. Are they as useful as a combat? Well, a combat will emphasize my bots. They're not the be-all end-all, but I'll notice if I don't have them. And I'm not even sure that the primes are at that level. If you had a choice between taking Nightstick on one of your bots or taking a prime, I'd choose Nightstick. It's going to make that one bot a lot better. Although primes work within your squad to make them all better, I'd still rather have Nightstick because it's so impactful. There's plenty of other cores like Forge of Soulless Prime as well. Even like Quintus Prime and Megatronus and cores like that and Alpha Trion that are a lot more important than a prime. So where do we rank them? For me, it's somewhere in between a combat and a boost. And that's so depressing, sitting here saying that. Do they give a bit of a boost to your team for a limited amount of time? But like a boost, they help you in a match, yeah. But if I don't have a boost, is it the end of the world? No. They're a bit useful, but I can do without them. And that's kind of where they're at. Don't get me wrong, they're not the same as a boost, but there's definitely better combats than primes. And that's the sad fact that I don't think that the Yodos realise, is how low down they are in terms of ranking of usefulness. And so they don't just need to go up a level to be as useful as bots maybe, but they need to go up a good couple levels to be almost like combiners in case of that. These guys make battles easier. They make wars easier. They make your life easier by having them. And that makes them good content that top players are going to want to chase. Because I feel like at the minute, everyone's just chasing them because of the next new shiny thing. They just don't want to miss out. That sort of FOMO. Rather than chasing them because they're good. Chasing them because they might be good one day. They might get an improvement. But then again, they might not. And so, I think there needs to be a massive rethink around primes. If you want to make them relevant for top players, they need to be top content. Because right now, they're right down there. But let me know what you guys think, especially in lower leagues. How effective are primes for you if you're in gold, Caminus, sort of lower level leagues? Are they a lot more useful at those levels? Because obviously the defense is not doing much damage and they have good HP maybe compared to your bots. If you're in lower leagues of wars, let me know how effective primes are for you. Top players need not apply. Brad Channing, good to see you. Just saw you coming in there, but obviously you're a big Wozza. Good to see you. Ninja Master Builders put Prime seem more like support bots, especially Solus and new Prime Megatron are similar, but weakening defenses. Yeah, Dan's just talking about the amount of XP they need. Mega Supreme Rules has put, I missed out on the Prime Shard swap for Primes. It'll come around again. Don't worry. It'll come around again. Trust me. It will. I know, yeah, Dan said you can swap it. I know, yeah. I realised that about the third time. Ninja Master Builders put, kind of wish there was a more way took Prime to battle like a Titan Assault. I don't. I was just put, was it and I use Solus, 40% damage reduction, 15 seconds. Use drop Solus once. Oh well. Shield is down. I think you're overhyping them, but honestly, I think they're awful. Darklands, I wish we could have one use ability shot at a defense for primes. At the minute, they're just glorified minions. I agree, to be honest with you. When HU19 comes around, they're just going to die in seconds. I agree with that as well. Source Prime should spawn minigun MDS. It's not a bad idea compared to what they've got now. King Grimlock, good to see you in the stream as well, buddy. Prime's the reason I've reduced engagement with Earth Wars. 0 long-term potential. As they are, I agree. Shami Cam has put Prime's just a bit of a boost. I don't think they're supposed to make a massive impact. Kind of like roided up Kremzeek. You say that, but then, you know, every big new release and the amount they hyped and the amount that Hasbro hyped them up, I think they were designed to have a massive impact and just don't. I really do. King Grimlock's put Prime's equal battle boost. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, like I said, yeah. CS put time about to run over. I don't actually. I'm actually on my normal time. Don't forget, it's different for you guys. Different time, sadly. I think Fraser did talk about it last week. I don't know what he's doing now. Traxxas put, I don't even bother checking my primes. Oh, yeah. Meat shield and Caminus. All right, okay. He's a decent effect. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Let's take one last look at Primer. So we looked at Primer the other week, and I gave a sort of verdict on him and said that, there's going to be more changes to come, guys. Don't worry. It's the first iteration. And so we had a bit of placeholder last week. So this is the new image of Primer Prime, as you can see there. There is changed into a truck. And there he is in all his glory. So we've added some new visuals. We've got the Star Saber. Let's upgrade the Star Saber a bit. So we've got a Star Saber to level 11. As you can see there, enter the battlefield from above, dealing 2 times DPS, so 887 DPS, talking about 1.5k. In a small area upon impact, proceed to strike the nearest target for 15 seconds, sending a damage wave. And beyond the target, it deals 1 times DPS, so you're talking about 800 damage in a line. Enemy bots, combats, and combiners hit by the wave suffer times 7.5 DPS damage. So 8, 16, 24, 39, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63. About. So you're talking about 6k damage over 5 seconds. So 1k damage per second at level 11. So nothing too crazy, but decent enough, especially to combats and combiners. So not bad. Special ability, enter battlefield, dealing damage, 15 seconds, as you can see there. And then passive ability, gain 44% health, so I guess a bit of a health boost. Friendly bots in a medium area of primer feel his presence, dealing 20% normal damage, that's DPS. Friendly bots and primer himself also synergize in a small area, dealing 25% damage and ability damage to bots, combats, and combiners. And like I said last week, I read this and I got to this point dealing 25% damage and ability damage. I was like, wow, this sounds great to bots, combiners, and combiners. And I just feel a bit let down by that. I feel like if that would have been for X amount of seconds, you can deal X amount of more ability damage, I think it would have had a bit more versatility, a bit more utility, and would have really, really improved your team. He has low health at 37,800, but comparing to other primes, he has a lot more DPS. But like I keep saying, I'm still waiting for the next prime that's a gunner or a jet or something that's going to sit back in my team. And so let's drop a few of these tanks here. In fact, hang on. Not enough points. Hang on a minute, guys. Hang on a minute. Let's get this set up. I don't set it up for the prize. I'll set it up for my other test. So let's give it a go. Sorry, guys. Won't be long. Let's try again. But let's put yeah, let's put rust dust in there a minute. So I can clear that area. So we're gonna put our bots down. Gonna clear the area just to get our points. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop Primer Prime just behind our tanks. You can see they're just behind them. So we're not going to put them in front. It's going to increase the damage of the bots in an area. But our bots get in trouble. Then we can rush them. We can use abilities to try and save them. Primer Prime, though, is going to struggle health-wise. That's a bad example because the FFD's there, isn't it? Let's try again without an FFD, eh? Let's put the MDS down a bit so it's not going to be too crazy. So let's give Primer Prime a bit of a test. Let's put tanks down first. Clear an area. Let's get some points. What we can do, we can rush tanks to give them that HP, to give them that health, to save them. Bit of primer, we'll put them behind. And that's it. They're static. That's it. They're done. I can see the primer's health is lowering. If these bots get in trouble, we can rush ahead. We can save them some damage. We can use abilities to save them. But we can't use abilities to save Primer Prime. And don't forget, normally you would have healers to heal those bots as well. You can use abilities to heal them. It doesn't heal Primer Prime. And that's a big one for me. Is not only are they quite squishy, but they're melee. And I keep saying I won't be impressed with primes until they have a gunner or a jet. I can sit back a bit and not go on the front line and get killed. And no matter how good they are, we can give them whatever abilities we want. We can give them some of the best abilities in the game. But if they're going to have 37,000 health without any kind of real shield, permanent shield, and be melee, they're going to die quite quickly and not have a massive impact. And you've got to think that this is level 70, rank 9, level 11 Star Saber. This is a lot further down the line when you've got the resources for this. It may be a bit unrealistic, and they're still struggling against just a normal HQ 18 Prime League base. And so, as we talked about, who are they geared towards? Right now, they could make this Prime amazing, but while it's got the stats it's going to struggle generally. They need to make Primes a lot better. Out of the 3 Primes, if we're comparing, how does Primer stack? Yeah, I can see utility in him. I can see he's a bit like Solus in terms of I can see a bit of youthfulness in him. Yeah, he's going to be okay. But we talked about them being a bit like a combat battle boost in war, not having a massive effect, and this guy's no different. It's not the content that we've got to chase. It's not the content that we've got to have, because without it, it's going to make a massive difference. It'll give you a bit of a boost. But is it worth doing a massive event for us to boost? My answer is no. And that's not because Primer is a lot worse than Solus. It's not because it's a lot worse than Megatronus. It's probably better than Megatronus, same as Solus in terms of that level, but the level generally for all Primes is nowhere near where it needs to be. And that's the biggest problem right now. And so, until they break that barrier of making Primes a lot better, I think that most reviews of Primes are going to be the same. And they're all going to fall short, sadly. And so, I'm hoping in the future something will change around Primes. I don't think it will. I'm not sure what they can do to buff them all, to make them absolutely amazing. Definitely not until HQ19's here anyway. But something needs to happen around Primes for sure. But until then, Primer is okay. He's like Solus in the sense of how good he is. Essential? No. Should I bother? Probably not. Could Fox support? The only way to hype the player base up is to bring bots that the fan base want instead of what the devs force us to get. Maybe true, yeah. Ninja Master Builders put at least a figure is a good one, like Megatronus figure. Yeah, the figure's alright. I don't mind the art. Yeah. Primer is a she, dude. Not anymore. You can't do that, mate. That's assuming. You can't assume his gender. Ninja Master Builders put, and at least the Star Saber follows a similar route to the Forge. It looks different compared to the Transformers Prime inspired Star Saber bots can use. Blade 19's put the Prime's just suicidal. They're always going to walk into trouble. Yeah, well, they will. Well, the melee especially. I would like them to dive into Cyberverse content. Maybe. Obviously, there was a bit of a thing about that last year, so maybe. MD Primes, but didn't they talk about some sort of system upgrade and all primes and artifacts is also going to increase what they are capable of? I don't know if it's going to increase what they're capable of. They did say that they're going to bring out something that's going to help them level primes, but I don't know if that's going to improve them. Trax has put my 4-star cup does more DPS than this prime and only has 9k less health and is ranged. So definitely. G-Boy Nico putting a bit of a timeout because he keeps putting just spamming. Apologies, bud. Didn't want to do it, but you know. Ninja Master Builders put is also a new Nexus Prime figure, so that might be the next one, maybe. Who might come to the game that transforms into a jet. So he might be a jet. You don't know, maybe. Hopefully. I mean, yeah, most of them transform into, you know, cars and that's things like that. So maybe that'll be the first, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully. Fingers crossed. That'll definitely make me want to go for the primes, yeah. Any primes, but yeah, I thought it talks about each level, each rank, and each level, each artifact was going to contribute to each prime in some way. Yeah, it will, but even if you max out a prime, they're still kind of short of what they need to do. That's the point I'm making. So, yeah, leveling primes will get easier from the sound of it. Will they be amazing? I don't know about that. I'm not too sure. Not convinced. Cool. Well, that is it for today, guys. I'm going to try and get off to know Freezers is streaming, and I know that we've obviously started late because of the time difference and because of daylight saving. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave, guys. The least you can do. If you want to be a member, go and be a member, guys. Go and support the channel. It's only like $2 or $3. Go and check it out, and you get access to all my videos for anyone else and some exclusive content when I do interviews with the devs, things like that. But for the time being, thank you for tuning in. Go and check out Freezers' stream, and peace out, guys.